Mr. Kieser bought the rights to build machines here in Europe. So he was a dealer for MedX in US. It was too expensive to ship all the steel over the ocean, and because of that, he bought the rights to build the machines and the rights to use the name from Arthur Jones. This is an important point when we talk about quality. If you build just a few machines a year and all different, it's very hard to produce a good quality. If you want a good quality, or let's say it other, if I should decide to buy a Ferrari or a Porsche, I would always buy a Porsche because they build a lot of them.
Yeah.
And the more you build, the more serious it becomes, the better the quality is. And that is what we do in the factory. So we don't build just one leg press and one torso arm. We build 10 or 20 leg press. And the same with the other machine. We build them always in a row to have a high quality and always the same. It's special made. We are talking about friction. We're talking about high intensity training. And for that, you need very little friction in the machine. And if you hear audible noise from your machine, there's friction for sure. Something is wrong. And if you ever get the chance to try my machines, you can't hear anything. So they are different, and it starts with self-made parts exactly how we want them. It's
Got
a
it.
lot of very small things which make the difference, which reduce the friction, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
That is what I think about the fitness business. 95% is just entertainment without results. The HIT training, the personal trainers are the fastest way to get what you want. Easy to find someone who is cheap, but you have to pay twice. It's not the goal to get as old as possible. The goal is to die as healthy as possible. Yeah. It's all about quality and full power until the end. It's my life, what I do. I love what I do.
Lawrence Neal here, and welcome back to High Intensity Business, your one-stop shop for growing your strength training business and fueling your passion for high-intensity strength training. Exciting one today for you guys. I have the owner of Barwich GmbH, aka MedX Europe, Eggert Barwich. How are you, Eggert? Great to have you on the show.
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for giving me the chance to talk to you.
It's my pleasure, and I've been excited about this. Even though you and I have spoken a lot, I still get confused about MedX. And we've got loads of questions from the community, which is really good to see. And yeah, excited to learn more about your story, which is so interesting. I know my listeners are going to be so interested. And to learn more about your MedX. So take us back towards the beginning. Like, you can start wherever you want, but I'd love to hear how you got into engineering.
It started all a long time ago. So I'm close to 40 years in this business, and I think it's a very interesting story how everything started. I had a Vespa scooter, and I loved to paint that. And where I bought my wet paint to paint the scooter, someone bought the wet paint for painting fitness machines. And he asked the dealer if he knows someone who is able to help him with painting machines. And he said, yes, there's someone coming with a Vespa, with a small guy. And yes, I will introduce you to him. And so I called him one day, went there, and yes, I started to paint fitness machines. And I was allowed to paint the machines. I was allowed to assemble them, to go to clients, to weld machines, to do all what is related to build fitness machines. And what I didn't know that time was they copied Nautilus machines. And I saw the cams and I didn't understood what it is. But I didn't care because I was not interested in fitness business. I was interested in building machines. And that is my background. I'm not a trainer. I'm not coming through the fitness to this. I came through from the technical side. And so I helped him and supported him. And long story short, after 9 years, I overtook his business. And I started to do service for fitness centers. And there was a chain here in Hamburg, which name was Swiss Training, and they had Nautilus machines. And first, I did the service here in Hamburg for only the 2 clubs, but they had more in Austria and Switzerland, and I did all that. And that is how I get to Nautilus. I get contacts to the US, fly over to the US, and they see how to repair and fix the machines. And that is what I did for a long time. Parallel, I worked for a few Kieser training clubs. Kieser training is a big chain here in Austria, Germany, and Switzerland. So I know about Werner Kieser. And Mr. Kieser bought the rights to build machines here in Europe. So he was a dealer for MedX in US. And it was too expensive to ship all the steel over the ocean. And because of that, he bought the rights to build the machines and the rights to use the name from Arthur Jones. And because he started to produce his own equipment, MedX US had no dealer here in Europe to sell the machines. And MedX US asked Werner Kieser who can do the job, and he said, ask Eggert. So they called me one day from the US and asked if I'm interested to sell the MedX machine. And I say, no, I'm not interested. Because I was very successful with what I did with service. I produced upholstery for other machine manufacturers. And
So Kieser were just one of your clients. You had different fitness businesses that you were serving at that time. Is that correct?
Also, yes. Also, that is the way I get in contact with Werner Kieser. So they called me. I said no. They called me again, and then I flied over and talked to them and decided, okay, I will do it. So that way I become the dealer for MedX here in Europe, which I did for about, I don't know, 10 or 15 years. If your customers know the story or follow the story of the MedX US, they went through several good and bad times. And I had a customer who bought over 50 machines and paid 50% in advance, and I wired the money to the US. And then the CEO called me, Eggert, sorry to say, but we have no money to build your machines.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Yes. And I got a name in the fitness business. And yes, of course, I can say to my customer, you will not get the machines, but let's not go for the long run. So I decided to put my pockets full of money, fly to US, to the factory, and paid the workers every day to build my machines. Can you imagine that?
Oh, wow.
True story. So they built my over 50 machines, loaded them in the containers, shipped them here. And I was able to satisfy my client. And by the way, I was there, and of course I worked in the factory. I helped them assemble the machine. I learned to assemble the MedX machine. I learned what is important. I did shields. I manufactured shields and everything. It was a great time. We had a lot of fun. Was a bad background, but I had a good time. But after that, I decided this is not working for the future. So
hang on, just pause. So at no point machines were manufactured in Europe. Am I correct about that?
Kieser manufactured those machines,
but they didn't have the volume that the US did at that stage. So that order
they
for
had
50,
a bigger volume.
Kieser couldn't.
No. Kieser produced over the years around 25,000 machines.
Okay. So where I'm confused is the order this person placed for 50. Why wasn't that manufactured in Europe? What am I missing there?
Because Kieser is a closed system. They
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
manufacture the
Okay.
machines only for their clubs. And I was a dealer for the US.
Oh, sorry. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Understood. Yeah.
Um, and I was that because of Mr. Kieser. He recommended me to the US people to do it here in Germany. And it
Got it.
went well a lot of years. But they run into financial problems, and
Yeah.
was a problem or the end of our relationship. So I decided to stop working together with them, and I asked Werner Kieser to work together with him. And he said, yes, of course, we can do that. And I bought a part of his manufacturing company, which name is Delphex. And I was a CEO of that company. Yes, so we had a big contract together. I was allowed to sell the machines outside. So we put all our stuff together, and I helped them with the production, with my knowledge, and I was allowed to sell outside.
Okay. So you could then manufacture in Europe and avoid the mitigation on this
Together with
issue
Kieser.
shipping overseas. And it was Delphex was the brand.
Yes.
And then you could manufacture and sell to companies in Europe at that time. Yeah, got it. Okay.
So, but for some reasons, I was unhappy with that deal after a few years, and I decided to step out, to sell my shares I had. And I had the agreement with them to sell the machines without being a part of Delphex. This goes for 2 or 3 years, and then they decided to keep the equipment again only for Kieser training, because the success of Kieser training is built on the machines. So that makes Kieser training a few other things, of course, also. But the main thing are the machines. So they canceled that agreement, and I was not able to sell those machines. And then it was a hard time for me. And I have to decide how to go on, to get retired, what was possible that time, or start again. I had one client in India who bought one machine from me. And I always liked the Indian people because they are good handcrafters. They are influenced from the British people.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah. They're driving on the left side. So I liked those Indian peoples for many, many years. And because of that contact in India, I asked my customer if he thinks that it's possible to build those machines in India.
Which year is this? When is this?
This is about 10 years ago,
Okay,
8 years ago.
Yeah. Okay.
Again, we are talking about a period of 40 years. So I spent my whole lifetime in fitness, or in machine building, fitness machine building. So, yes, he agreed. And I fly over, and I had a few drawings with me. And the idea was in the beginning to have outside vendors who build the frames and the parts, and we only assemble, like Delphex do. Delphex don't weld frames on their own. They have vendors who ship everything to them, and they assemble. So that was the idea. And I brought some drawings and let them make some samples, and it was a nightmare. It was so hard in the beginning. And when I came to India, it was very dirty. The air was not nice. So I was absolutely unhappy. I visit other factories who could build our frames, and they had no roof, they had no floor, there are cows inside the factory. People are wearing no shoes.
Yeah.
And when I started in fitness business, I was a schoolboy, but then I did an apprenticeship at Mercedes-Benz. We have a factory in Hamburg, and I learned how to build and fix machines. That was my job. So they programmed me in quality.
Mm.
And when I saw that with my imagine of Mercedes-Benz, it was a nightmare. So, and my partner there found out very quickly that I'm unhappy, and we decided to do everything on our own. And that was the right decision. And he was able to find the right people who understand what we want, and who was focusing on quality. And yeah, that was my job there, to show them exactly what I want. I shipped machines from here, or machine parts, to India to show them what's important and how everything should be. And it was a bit of hard the first 2, 3 years, but after that it picked up, and I had a lot of orders, and the machines are still working fine. So also our very first machines I sold are still good and running and without problems. And after 6 or 7 years, I called my contact at Kieser training and asked them if they are interested to get machines from India. And yeah, they've been interested, and we fly over, and they ordered machines, and yeah, they are satisfied. And so since that time, the Kieser chain buy the machines from me. And this is an important point when we talk about quality. If you build just a few machines a year, and all different, it's very hard to produce a good quality. If you want a good quality, or let's say it other, if I should decide to buy a Ferrari or a Porsche, I would always buy a Porsche because they build a lot of them.
Yeah.
And the more you build, the more serious it becomes, the better the quality is. And that is what we do in the factory. So we don't build just one leg press and one torso arm. We build 10 or 20 leg press. And the same with the other machine. We build them always in a row, to have a high quality, and always the same.
And is that because if you're doing so much volume, you just hone the skill really well in terms of the team over there when they're manufacturing the parts, they're getting so good at doing the same thing over and over again. Yeah.
Yeah. And that
That
is
is
the
that part of
reason,
it?
that is the reason why I paid those workers in the factory over the Corona time, because I wanted to keep them. They had a lot of knowledge, and if people go, you have to start from the beginning, where to place a decal, how to weld, and so on. All those little things, and that are very important. You have to do it all the time. If you stop, you have to learn from the beginning.
Do you have like documentation which
Of course.
shows the guys like exactly how to
Yes.
manufacture from start to finish? Oh, it must be vast, eh?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's all in technical drawings.
Oh
So
wow, cool.
in 3D drawings, and then in 2D drawing. That is all described, of course. And of course, we have an folder for every machine with a special. Yeah. Where to place a decal, it have to be always the same. It's little things, but that is very important. Let me say one thing more about
Please.
my career. So after my apprenticeship at Mercedes, which was very good, 3.5 years, which is a long time, but it's standard here in Germany. I worked for Mercedes-Benz, but only half a year, because I was in the production and I have to produce car parts, and that was hard. I didn't like that. So I decided to stop that and study machine building. So I study to get an engineer, but that time when I start to study, I get self-employed, and over the time I earned money with what I did, and so I stopped the studying and didn't get the degree. But in the end, I'm an engineer from what I learned, but
Sure.
without a degree. Um, and this all goes parallel. It was the working or the apprenticeship at Mercedes, and I was working in fitness business. That time not self-employed. That started when I finished my apprenticeship, but all parallel. I was the whole time in the business. And I never was a trainer. I had fitness clubs, and of course, but I never was a trainer or a good trainer. I was always the technical guy.
Yeah.
That is what I'm focused on. And I learned how to build those machines, how to assemble, what's important at the factory in US, in Ocala, and also at Delphex. And all that together makes it possible for me to go to India and teach the people there how to do it and what's important and how to deliver quality.
Mm. Yeah, so interesting. It's a fascinating story. And, you remind me that, we've got loads of photos of the operation of the factory in India, the team there, all what do you call it? Like, the frames for all the machines, like the incomplete machines, like apps, so many of them, like rows of them. If guys want to see that, you can join our free community. There'll be a link below. It's school.com with a K/HIB-free. You can just see a link below if you want to join that and see all those images. Obviously, lots more details about MedX Europe as well, and Barwich. So awesome, Eggert. Thank you for that. And yeah, I mean, you mentioned there, obviously, you making the distinction that you're not a trainer, that you're an engineer, that your specialization is in building machines, but you do like training. I remember when I first met you, I was like, I mean, you told me your age, and I was like, no way. Like, you look great for your age because you train, right? You train pretty regularly too, correct?
Yes, of course.
Yep.
I'm addicted to those machines. I got a home gym in my basement with 12 machines.
Nice.
I got a Star Trek treadmill and a Concept 2 rower. By the way, I also worked for Star Trek as a sales guy here in Europe. I worked for Cybex, for Precore. I worked for different companies. So I collected a lot of experience, but
And
today I
freebies, it sounds
say
like.
again.
And ignore me. I said freebies, like, free machines, or let's say discounts, maybe.
To come back to your question, yes, of course I work out. I do it once a week. The HIT workout, I try to run every day on the treadmill. Um, I'm very focused on health. So my thinking is it's not the goal to get as old as possible. The goal is to die as healthy as possible. Yeah. It's
Mm.
all about quality and full power until the end. I'm also the cook for my family. I'm married. I got one son. Um, I cook every day and always fresh. So
Nice.
it's not only taking care with training, it's also what we eat and what we think. And my wife is also in fitness business. She works as a personal trainer. So we talk a lot of training and machine. It's my life, what I do. I love what I do. And I will do that until I die. I don't want to stop this. One reason is because I love it, of course. And the other reason is if I stop and MedX Ocala is not producing machines anymore, who will do it? And it's
Right.
a great product. And if this is lost for the market, that's not a good thing.
Yeah. I love your passion. And I think we all appreciate what you're saying. And by the way, for those listening, Eggert, I hope you don't mind me saying this, but Eggert's always quite nervous coming onto the podcast because he says his English isn't good enough, but your English is probably better than mine.
Important
So I
things.
think you're very mistaken, Eggert. You come across so clear and so clinical in how you describe things and tell the stories. So can we, just for clarity, can you describe the difference between your MedX and your US MedX counterpart?
Yes. It all starts with Mr. Kieser, who bought the rights to build the machines here in Europe. And not only to build them, he was allowed to use the brand name MedX. And that is where I'm coming from. So it's all legal because of that contract 20 years ago, or how long it is, I don't know. Um, the difference is the kind of measurement. So in the US, you got inches and feet, and we got millimeters and meters and kilograms and so on. That's the difference. So we have metric screws. You have to use different tools to dismantle or assemble them. That is one difference. And we re-engineered everything when we took the drawings over and to convert them to the metric system. We did a lot of things different. So all the machines got bushings, and US are made with ready bought bushings for the guide rod and so on, and we make
Ah,
them on our own.
okay. If you're on
Everything.
video right now, you will see Eggert holding up a bushing. There
Can
you
you
go.
see? Yes.
Beautiful.
So
See a
it's
large ring.
not bought from the market. It's special made. We are talking about friction. We're talking about high intensity training, and for that you need very little friction in the machine. And if you hear audible noise from your machine, there's friction for sure. Something is wrong. And if you ever get the chance to try my machines, you can't hear anything. So they are different, and it starts with self-made parts exactly how we want them. So the measurement is different. We
Okay.
build them a bit higher, so you are able to go with a pallet jack underneath the machine and move it much easier. So the US machines are close to the bottom, and you are unable to lift them. If you got a special vehicle to transport them, which nobody got, then you're maybe able to move them. With ours, it's much easier. If you want to move a leg press, you can do it on your own. The leg press weight is 1,000 kilo, 1 ton. You're gonna go underneath with a pallet jack, pump it up, and move. It's easy as that. It's not so easy with a chest press because it's standing only on 3 points, but it's much easier. It's impossible to move the US machines. It's very easy, or more easy, with my machines. That is the difference. The weight pins. I don't know if you know, US weight pins got a very small. You can see it.
Just hold it.
Very
It's out of
small.
focus. Yeah, there you go. You need to hold it near your face for it to be in, so it's not in the blur. That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a ball inside, and this ball always fall out. It's the ball is inside to make sure it's not easy to get it out. But this ball fell out one time and fell into the guide rod, to the bushing, and then you have a lot of friction because it blocks the guide rod from movement. So our weight pins don't have that. We have a magnet, a strong magnet, keep the, the weight pin in. It's
Got
a
it.
lot of very small things which make the difference, which reduce the friction, and so on.
Hmm. Okay. Very good. And just to clarify, when you say build higher, that the machine's high, you have the rubber feet at the bottom, which is, yeah, exactly, which you're holding up right now.
I'm
Guys,
well
if you're listening,
prepared.
Yes, no, I love it. I love it. Yeah, just for those listening, if you get a chance to go on YouTube and you'll see Eggert showcasing all these different parts. So that's what you mean, right? It's because it's on rubber feet, you can get under it with a pallet jack. That's what or is this something they also built higher as well as that? Or yeah.
The frame is modified. So
Oh, I
the
see.
machine itself, it's the same height. But we modified the frame, and because of that, you can go underneath
Uh-huh.
with a pallet jack. It's together with the feet. The feet and the modified frame, there's only 68 millimeters from the frame, and the rest is coming from the big rubber feet. And there's another benefit of the rubber feet. If you have them underneath your machine, they're not running through your club, and they don't damaging your floor. I saw a lot of clubs with wooden floor and many scratches on the floor
Oh, good.
because of the metal frame without those feet. And every machine comes with that great feet. And it's special made for us, like all the other stuff also. It's not available on the market, only we have those special ones. They are
Yeah.
designed for us.
Okay. When you say for us, what do you mean by that? High intensity strength trainers.
No, for our MedX machines.
Oh, apologies. Okay. Got it. Okay. Oh, I see. Yes. Okay. Um, and there's quite a few other differences too, right? Just to answer this question for listeners, because these a lot of these questions were submitted. One of the other differences is you don't use carbon fiber for the belt. Is that correct?
It's steel. Yeah, we use
Okay.
steel.
Okay.
Um, that's difficult for me to say in English. We it's
We can park
It
that one if
should
it's
be
easier.
as stable as possible, not as a rubber band, which you can extend. So the steel is more stable.
Hmm. Okay. All good. And the zinc plated weight plates, there's a difference there too, right? What was the
Yes,
logic behind that?
it's again a long story. It's a
Yeah.
technical thing. So the weight plates are the most expensive part of the machine, because they have to be grinded or milled from 6 sides. That makes it very expensive. Um, and they have to be very exact. Imagine
Yeah.
you have a chest press machine with 28 big weight plates in, and every weight plate is only 1/10 of a millimeter too thick. With 28 plates, it's 2.8 centimeter. And I know, I'm sure you have machines in your club, and which unable to get in the weight pin. You got that experience? So the hole is not matching, the hole
Yes,
inside
correct.
is not
Yes,
matching
that's
with the
right.
weight plate.
Yes.
And this is because the plates are too thick or too thin. So when they build the machine, they have to have special mill plate with much thinner to correct all too thick plates. So again, the weight plates have to be very exact. And if you powder coat them, it can be more or less thick. So powder coating is not an exact technology in thickness. Zinc plating is. So you can do that very exactly, and it's not too thick. So it's easier to control the process of manufacturing the weight plates. And that's the reason why we don't powder coat. We don't want to use thinner weight plates which are milled. Um, it's not correct that way.
Sure.
It's
Yeah.
it's German engineering. Sorry.
It's beautiful. No, no, it's I had no idea that it was going to be that technical. And what I'm hearing is it's all about precision, right? And
Exactly. And
quality. Yeah.
there are a lot of pieces like that, and you have
Yeah.
to understand all the technical things. And that's the reason why the MedX machines are so good, because of the many small things are doing correctly.
Yeah.
The same is with movement. Why don't we use this kind of weight stack? Why is the weight stack so big? Why don't we use electric motors, servo motors for the
Yeah.
movement? The reason, the feeling, the moment of force, the centrifugal forces, it's all related to the big weight plates, to the big weight block. Higher, the more weight which is in the machine, the lower the centrifugal forces are. If you ever worked out on torso arm machine made by Technogym, you got only that little weight in, and you're moving it over 1.5 or 2 meters.
Yes.
And when you do the exercise, you speed up where you are strong, and this helps you where you're very weak in the end. So you have that flying forces, that centrifugal forces, which help you in the end. And imagine that. So the weight is flying because of the force. And imagine that you're training your neck extension, and the pad get off your head and come back and hit you.
Oh, Jesus.
It's very dangerous. And this is the reason why there's so much weight in. And the movement is very small. Again, compare it with the torso arm machine I'm talking about, 1.5 meter, with our very little movement of the weight. And if you look to the MedX medical machines, especially to the CE, to the cervical extension, it's only 50 millimeter, 2 inches, which the weight
travel.
is moving over 126 degrees of the movement. So it's nothing. So how fast ever you train, you will not be able to get that pad flying.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of knowledge made by Arthur Jones, great guy, who made that possible and feelable. And when you ever trained on a machine with a servos, with a motor, the feeling is totally different. You never will get that feeling from a machine with weight plates. It's different.
Got it. Okay. Wow, I didn't realize we were going to get a physics lesson here, Eggert. I'm learning a lot. This is really interesting. Okay. So let me see what we have here. You've answered so many of these questions already, which is great. He talks about here the special feature of the MedX equipment is the strength curve. Where did you learn? See, it's interesting because the question I have here is where did you learn how to design something like that? Did you have an influence on the strength curve in MedX? I know you said you redesigned them for your MedX. Did you change the strength curve at all? Can you just elaborate on that for us?
No. The strength, that work was done by Kieser training.
Right.
So it was not done by me. But of course, I have to know how you design it and understand the process. So from my point of view, in the whole fitness business are 3 genius guys. It starts with Arthur Jones, and he had 2 engineers who made all the work and came up with great ideas. One is Phil Senzel. He's working for Kieser training in Switzerland now. And the other one is Clay Steffi, who also worked with him at Nautilus. And he influenced Nautilus, MedX, Life Fitness, Hammer Strength. So he's a genius, and he's living in Florida, and I learned all that from him. He taught me how to design, what's important, movement, what I say about momentum and forces. He explained all that to me, and that's the reason why I know that.
Wow. Yeah. We had Clay on the podcast a couple of times, actually. a couple of years back. So the audience are interested in that. You can just search Clay Steffi, STE. I believe it's 2 Fs and 2 Es.
Yes,
And you can
right. I
you can
visited
find
him
that.
2 weeks ago when I was in Florida. He's a very nice guy with a lot of experience, and the same was with his wife, Kathleen, because she also worked for Arthur Jones, and those both met at Nautilus. So they both got a long story together, and she knows also a lot of the history and so on.
That's so cool. So another question I got here. I'm not sure you're going to like this question, Eggert. Have you considered making the MedX design more aesthetically pleasing?
That sounds that you don't like the design.
I think this person thinks that it could be improved. I didn't
I
say
don't
that, Eggert.
think
That's
so.
not me.
I don't think so. I
Okay.
absolutely don't think so. Yes, I thought about, and because I thought about that, I have a clear answer. Um, those machines are not built to be nice. They are built to fulfill a function. From my point of view, 95% of the people who go to a normal fitness club don't get what they want. It's a big entertainment system. They hang around, sit, drink coffee, talk.
Yeah.
Nobody's working out. Um, and all those clubs got very nice, round shaped machines. And they all look the same. They copy from each other. And this is one direction on the market. And the other direction is MedX. It's totally different. They never been built to look nice. They've been built to fulfill a function. And yes, they are big, they are heavy. I already explained why they are so heavy. But there's no machine like that you can adjust like that to your body, who got so many features and which are so exactly. I want exactly that look. I want to be different from the market. I don't want to change that look. I want clients coming in to the club and see this is totally different.
Mhm.
And this is the hardware. The software is the trainers. So you can have the best machine. If the trainer is not good, it will not work. And people come 2-3 times to a club with a good personal trainer, and they become addicted very quick because it works and it produces results. And all the other, sorry, I want to say shit. No, all the
You can say that. It's
the
fine.
market um, are just entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
That's my view. Yours can be different, but if you want to be successful in fitness business, from my point of view, the best way is to do a HIT workout, very concentrated, follow the rules, 90 seconds, slow repetitions, and so on. And then you will get what you want.
Mm-hmm.
And also with the other benefits, back pain, neck pain, and so on. Nobody built those special machines. And in the beginning, I also thought they are ugly and they have to be more nice. Today, I say exactly the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
They are perfect like that. They have a different look and a different purpose.
Yes, I totally agree. And you're right. They stand out. They are different. And actually, with the shields on and they're painted a good color, I think they look great. Personally, that's my personal opinion. So I'd be in agreement with what you're saying. Have you ever considered designing a lateral spine flexion machine like the David spine concept? Any thoughts on that?
We talked about quality and numbers of production. So my wish was to produce the machines also for Kieser, not only for me. because I want to build them in big quantities in a row to have the quality. I'm sure that there's a need of special machines, of more special machines on the market. But if we are only able to produce 5 or 10 a year, it will not make sense for me. So it's great for me to produce the machines for Kieser training, but all changes which are done on the machines will have to be, I have to talk about that with Kieser training, because they order the most machines and they set the standard.
Yeah. Right. That's so interesting. So it's really about what does their consumer want and need is kind of driving the machines that you're manufacturing, right? What are the priority, which makes sense.
Again, say it again, please.
So Kieser's essentially, like you said, they're directing, which machines you're going to manufacture, because they're putting through the most volume. So it's kind of like, so it got me thinking, what does Kieser training need to give their clients the best service, right? And that's really, and I mean, I'm making some assumptions there, but that's what's really driving, the types of machines that you're going to prioritize manufacturing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Understood. Okay. And you already answered the question about servo motors. Again, these are not my questions, Eggert, so don't shout at me, right? Are there any plans to make women-specific machines? This is from a listener. As much as I love MedX, I find them to be large for women and the handle circumference large for a woman's hands. Any thoughts on that?
The first time I hear that, and our grips are 28 millimeters on the outside. I never thought about that. But if I'm thinking about the chest press, for example, you have a lot of force on the grips and they have to be stable enough to take that. And I'm not sure if smaller grips will take that force. I agree that it's difficult to put small people on a few machines, like the leg extension. The old leg extension, we modified that because of that reason. Or the torso rotation or the lumbar strength, because if you have short legs, it's different to adjust it. But we solved that. So on the leg extension, we have now adjustable roller pads. So you could put them higher and have smaller people in. And because of the big roller pads, you have less pressure on your leg. And on the torso rotation and lumbar extension, we build adjustable foot platforms. So you have two positions for your feet, and that helps a bit. So we work on that, but I never thought about handles. Or so I would be interested which machine doesn't fit. We have very big grips on the dip machine and on the multi-exerciser, but all the others got only 28 millimeters.
I've heard this comment about the arm cross, the pec deck.
That you don't use the handles, you let your hands open. I'm not a trainer, but you don't use those grips normally.
But I think people say that sometimes they could be getting this slightly wrong, but just the size of the machine, like the positioning of those pads, is perhaps wider for women. I think I might be speaking out of turn there, but I think that was a concern. Have you ever had that feedback before? No. Okay. All right. We can move on. Yeah. I mean, look, listeners can correct me and share their thoughts in the community if I'm onto something there or not.
But
Go ahead.
I'm sure that there are a lot of things which can get better.
Sure.
But the question is, does it fit for all the people? And I can build special machines for customers, but it's very expensive then.
Yeah.
It should fit for 95 of the people. And if I compare the MedX machines with other manufacturers, I think our machines are much better adjustable than others.
I'd agree, 100%. Yeah. Can you tell us about the pelvic floor machine? Is that something that you manufacture or not?
Yes. One more thing about the difference in
Sure.
the machines, and especially for women. So our seat adjustment is also different. So it's spring loaded, and when you have to adjust the seat of a chest press or a torso arm, it's very heavy. Ours are spring loaded, and you can move the seat with just 2 fingers.
Nice.
So I don't remember if you have them in your club, if you know the difference. But it's a big benefit.
Yeah, I think they have them at Optima in Galway. Last time I
Yes.
trained there, Miriam would have adjusted those seats on my behalf, so I didn't experience that, but I'm sure she appreciates that. Yeah.
So
Very
you
good.
asked for the pelvic floor machine.
Yeah.
So
Can you tell us more about that?
what's your question?
Oh, well, do you provide it?
Yes, of course, it's available on the market.
And because I've used the pelvic floor machine that Kieser had in London, where it had a screen and you played a game in order to, you contract your pelvic floor. And I think it was like a game with fishes or something. My wife was obsessed with it. She loved it. Is that the same one, or is it a different machine
It's
that you
exactly
have?
that's the one.
Oh, is it?
I sell. Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
first of all, and I'm sure a lot of your clients never heard about a pelvic floor machine and ask you them how it works. So there are no weight plates in the pelvic floor machine. There's a sensor who can measure the extension of the muscle. So if you work out your biceps, for example, it's getting bigger in the contraction. And the same is with the pelvic floor. And this is the sensor. And you're sitting on this.
Looks like a lightsaber. Yeah.
So it's made of silicon, so it's soft, and there's a fluid inside and a load cell. So you press that fluid, and the load cell measure the pressure inside that tube. So you're sitting on this tube and extend your pelvic floor muscles, press them together, and the signal goes to the computer, and you have a small ball like on the medical machines on the screen. And with that ball or point, you try to follow a line on the screen. So the line goes up and goes down. So by following this line with pressing the tube together with your muscle, you learn to work with your pelvic floor. And it sounds easy. It's absolutely not. I'm sure, Lawrence, you tried so,
Yes.
and it's not very easy. And we have them in all the Kieser trainings, and it's very successful there. So people love it, and it's absolutely not a touchy thing. It's standing right in the middle of the club. People look like they're sitting on a chair. So
Yeah.
you can
Big machine though, right?
big.
It's a big machine.
No, it's
I don't
not.
know. It's been a long time since I've seen one. Andre, when you come to edit this, can you find a picture of one and put it on the screen?
If you know Andre,
Jagervenko, yeah, in
and
Toronto. Yeah.
well,
Big fan of yours and your
on that
machines.
on
Yeah.
that strength convention
And
last
Strength
week,
Forum.
and
Yeah.
he made a lot of advertising for me because he's so proud
Oh,
about
that's
that
awesome.
machine and so happy.
Yeah.
That's what I thought about Andre. So
Yes. Yeah.
did I
That's
answer
great
all
that
the
he was doing that.
questions? Did I answer all the questions? So
No. Eggert, we have many more
no, about the
questions.
pelvic floor.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. You answered that really well, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry to say, the pelvic floor machine looks easy, but it's very expensive. It costs around, I don't know, 10,000. You got the
Mhm.
prices. I don't have that in mind.
Yeah.
This sensor we have to buy from a vendor. It's not our patent, and we have to buy it. And only the sensor costs 2,500 or 3,000 euros.
Wow. Just that that thing you're holding.
Yes.
Wow. Got to go to YouTube, guys. It's fascinating. This is such a treat that we're getting all these the different parts that you're showing on screens. Really cool. I was sort of seeing if I could bring up the price for it, while we're talking, but I'm not going to waste too much time on that right now. Okay. So moving on, which machines have the option for semi-independent arms? Like for example, the torso arm. Do they have lock switches where if the trainer wants maximum stability as well?
It's only the torso arm, which you
Okay.
can combine with a switch. The chest press is already depending. So the torso arm is the only one.
Got it. Okay. And so it gives you a switch. Sorry, so you can do both. You can have it.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Semi-independent. Okay, and fixed together essentially. Got it. Okay. I think I found that machine because you were saying about the price point. Is it the A5? Is the pelvic floor? Yeah.
Yes.
10.6K
Yeah.
euros. So
It's a lot
yeah,
of money.
just for reference. But it's a successful machine and for Kieser. Do you get many studios outside of Kieser invest in that?
Not many, but
Okay.
yes, a few. The question always is how you make your fitness business, your club successful. And the whole market tried outside HIT training, outside Kieser, tried to get the cheapest price. If the customer don't see a difference between clubs, they buy the cheapest price, right?
Sure.
So if you look to cheap prices, there's an end. It's a zero. It's not a good idea to go that direction. I think it's much better to go to the never end because you can
Fully agree.
charge as much as you can, as you want. But for that, you need a difference. And what is the difference in the clubs? It's the success. It's special things they do, like the pelvic floor. So there are no other clubs in the market who have a pelvic floor machine or a tibialis machine. So why do you need a tibialis machine? When you see old people walking, they not rolling the feet, they put one to another flat on the ground. The pump rate of your heart is only 25%. All the rest is coming from the movement of your muscles and I can't say it in English, sorry. So
Fine.
the older you get, the more you walk like that, the more heart problems you got. And if you want to train those muscles, you have to train your calf and your tibialis. You have to have the muscle to lift your toes. And for that, you need a special machine. And if you are able to tell the story to older people, they will understand and they will use it. What I want to say, if you want to get more money, you need special machines, you need solutions for neck or for the lower back, for the tibialis, for the pelvic floor. You have to go a different way than the others to get more money. You have to be special and you have to solve the problems. You have to take care that the people come to your club. You have to motivate them to train and so on. It's a lot. But if you are able to make your customers come frequently, to get addicted to your product, and your club is full, you can do that job until the end of your life and earn a lot of money. And you can raise your prices because they will not go to any other club. And MedX is a part of that.
Yeah. It's a strong pitch, Eggert. I totally agree with what you're saying. And I always felt that way about in particular, about the MedX lumbar extension, just because there is really no other machine that isolates the lumbar extensors as well as that. And I love that machine so much. And it's always, I mean, obviously a lot of the machines are wonderful and a lot of them get a great reaction to customers, especially on their first time. But that one in particular is like, it always gets a good reaction. That one.
And I don't know if you have both versions, if you have one for me and one for
I
me.
have seen both. Yeah, I've tried both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a difference. So
Yeah.
we designed that machine. We have a different seat position, which
I loved
lock
it.
your hip much better. The seat, it's not flat or parallel to the floor. It's a bit that direction. So
At an angle. Yeah.
at an angle, exactly. And that together with the rolls in the right position, fix your hip much better, and you can feel it when you try both. And when you work out for a longer time on S version and go to my version, you have to reduce your weight. Why is that? Because the fixation, it's much better. So both are totally different. And also we have an indicator for the point where you engage the back pad, stuff like that. It's all small things, but the lumbar was already very good, but this version is much better.
Yeah, I thought the look and feel was better. I think it looks a bit nicer. The restraints felt more comfortable. I didn't go straight from the core to yours. Last time I was in there, I just used yours and I loved it. And I could, but when I'm next in there, I might, because they have both, so I might try both and just see if I can feel that difference that you're talking about. Yeah, that's really interesting. Okay. You've kind of answered this already. You've talked about the importance of quality as it relates to volume. You've got to build a lot of machines to maximize the quality. So I can guess what you're going to say to this one, but have you ever considered fabricating improved versions of any other machines outside of MedX? For instance, the Nautilus double machines?
No. And I don't want to change much on the machines. And to be honest, I don't go to trade shows anymore, and I don't look to other manufacturers. It's always the same what they do, and I don't have the feeling that they have better ideas.
Mm-hmm. So you have like 35 machines currently in your inventory, something like that. How do you decide whether or not you're going to introduce a new machine? Is it essentially what your customer is demanding? That's kind of what's leading that for you?
Most of that stuff is coming from Kieser training.
Right. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, because you just want to get really good at a smaller number of machines, ideally, right? Yeah.
It's already a nightmare to have that variety of machines.
Right.
You have to produce them all.
Yes. Yeah, I can imagine. Okay. So I'm going to skip a few here because we kind of answered them. Are you able to help medical machine users with the software and the electronics?
Yes, of course. So if you got clients on the podcast who need help just give me an email. I can help.
Okay.
I have all the electronics interface, and yes, I can help.
Okay. All right. So we might as well mention it here. Obviously, guys, if you're interested in contacting Eggert and learning more, just go to medxonline.de. There'll be a link below on wherever you're consuming this. Okay. So can you tell us more about how you help people set up and fix, like do break fix and maintenance? Do you do any of that remotely? Do you always go to site? Do you send anyone? Can you talk a bit more about that?
Um, the machines are built to last forever, and they don't need much service. 99% of the things can be done remote. So I can do that over the phone, or I explain it with drawings and send emails. Um, there is not much help needed. The biggest thing is to clean the guide rods with alcohol or something like that. Underneath the small weight block and underneath the big weight block. With doing that, with the cleaning, a lot done, and sometimes it's necessary to grease them a bit, but only a bit.
How
Most
often should someone be doing those things, in your opinion,
depends on
with your
how dry
machines?
the air is, how
Right.
much torque you got. I would do that every 3 or 4 months, something like
Okay.
that.
Quarterly, like, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but you feel that if they are not running smooth anymore, you may have to clean the guide rod. And it's a very simple thing, and it make big difference.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So yeah, so the machines are so good that they essentially just last forever and just need a little bit of maintenance. Do you still go to location to help people set up, or not really?
Very seldom. I'm
Okay.
very busy with what I'm doing. Very.
Right. 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 So
But
when
what I
people go ahead, yep.
what I sometimes do here in Europe is to help them setting up the clubs. So when the machines arrive, I'm there and help them to unload, dismantle. They bring it in, and I assemble the machines. That is can be part of the contract when they buy the
Yeah.
machines. It's not included in the price, but that is something we can talk about. So I
Because
don't
obviously,
talk.
go ahead. Yeah.
I don't talk about discount and things like that, but I try to help as much as possible in installation and so.
Understood. And because a lot of people listening to this are obviously in the US, and there might be people that are interested in the US. And is it simply a matter of you will ship the machines to them, broken down, and they have to be assembled there? Is that, and go ahead.
I ship them in one piece. So
Okay, so they're ready to go.
they,
They just need to be moved into
yeah, they
location. Got
come
it.
in the container fully
Yeah.
assembled. Um, they have to unload the container, bring it in their facility, and then they can start right away. If they have to dismantle, I can help them
Right.
with drawings and so on, how to do that and how to do the installation.
Yeah,
But
because
yeah, also
go ahead.
people in the US who are able to work with MedX machines, and that
Yeah.
is the same with German machines or with US machines. They are it's the same way to assemble that.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, for instance, we had to break them down, as you know, getting some of them into the first location we had here in Galway. And there's a chap who worked for Sean, who was fantastic, tradesman, jack of all trades, like could build and fix anything, it seems. And he was able to kind of build the machines almost intuitively, right? So if someone has access to someone like that, which
Like,
they'll be okay. Yeah, exactly.
it's
Yeah,
all very easy.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not a big thing.
And like you say, there's a lot of people that know these machines very well over there. And do you have like trusted partners that you use to ship the machines? Because obviously not everyone understands the machine, so they need to be careful. And do you have partners that you use for that, or how does that? Yeah.
You're talking about unloading or just the shipping?
Actually, like the collecting them on the trucks and then taking them from the trucks to the location, that kind of thing.
I ship the machines in sea containers.
Uh-huh.
We load them in the factory and we fix them in the container. So the container normally goes directly to the
Got
facility.
it.
You need a forklift to unload them, but you don't have to transfer it to another
Understood.
truck or something like that.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you for that. And tell us about like lead times roughly if someone was in the US or West Coast, East Coast, like how long are we talking from like placing an order to actually receiving machines?
So our factory is very, very busy. So this year we built about 600 machines and we plan the same for next year.
Brilliant.
You have to expect a manufacturing time on about 3 months, something like that. Plus shipping. I think the shipping from India to the US is about 8 weeks, something like that. So normally when you start to plan a new facility, you have to look for a facility itself and so on. And that takes time. And if you order the machines in time, it will arrive when you're ready with your building works and so on.
Sure. So what you're saying is everyone should order now to get their machines as quick as they can.
Yes, to get them in about 5 months, something like
Understood.
that.
Okay. Do you still deal much with like refurbished MedX, US MedX or other?
Um, I do, but not much.
Yep.
When I buy used machines, I only buy machines in very good quality, and they are getting rare. So
Okay. Yeah.
I have to give a warranty on used machines, and I only sell machines I would buy myself. I got a name in this business, and if I'm selling machines which are not good, I will hit my own name. And most of the MedX users are successful. And when they are successful with their machines, why do they sell them on the market? So there are not many good used machines on the market.
Interesting.
So I can't buy them and I can't sell them. So there are used machines. When I go to the internet and search for machines, I find used machines, but I think it's a big danger for people to buy them, and especially with spare parts. I got spare parts for my German machines, but they don't fit on the US machines.
Mhm.
And it's always a risk to buy machines you have not seen before. Or you buy them from me if I have them. People can trust me. I want to stay much longer in the market, and I already been very long on the market. And there are customers who bought used machines from me. But if I imagine I'm an end user and I should buy a used machine, I think it's a big risk and not easy.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Makes a lot of sense. Um, all right. So talking a bit about the future now, you mentioned already Nautilus and MedX have a long history, which is great. But the people behind it have been involved for a long time and maybe soon of retirement age. What are your plans for the future? And when are you retiring, Eggert?
You
Never.
already found out that I love what I do.
Yeah.
And I'm very long in this business, and I think I earned a lot of money and enough money. I don't have to work anymore.
Good for
But
you.
I love what I do, and I will do it until I die. I'm not able to unload a truck myself and bring it in a facility. That's what I did 20 years ago. I'm not able to do that anymore. I'm 55 now and I don't want to hurt myself. But what I'm doing was producing and selling and taking care about spare parts and producing upholstery and all that I can do until I die. And I will do that until I have to work out until the last day and I will produce machines until the last. I love what I do. Absolutely.
Very good. Yeah. What's your thoughts on the fitness industry, future of high intensity training? Where do you think things are going? You've got there's lots of technology coming out right now. I'm hearing people talking about all sorts of different machines, tech, stuff based on AI, stuff using motors, which you've touched on. What do you think? Yeah, tell us your thoughts on the fitness. I mean, you mentioned already about how you feel about the fitness industry, which is, I
Yes,
think,
it's
quite
entertainment.
clear.
The fitness
Right.
business is entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
And what I learned over the years is that HIT training is working. You need the hardware, you need the software. And those both things together, success.
And just to clarify, hardware being machines, software being trainers is what, just
Exactly
to
that.
clarify. Yeah.
Yes. And that produces results. And results means less fat, more muscles, more health. The HIT training is the shortest way to success. Of course, it's not cheap. But from my point of view, a cheap club without any use is much more expensive because you get no results. When you go to a HIT training facility with a personal trainer, you get results and you get what you pay for. And that is cheap.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
The fastest and cheapest way to success to success is always an expensive specialist. I'm the specialist for the technology, for the machines. The software, the trainer is the knowledge. And if this both comes together, this is the shortest way to success. So you need an expensive expert to get good results. Same as with doctors. It's with everything is the same. And that is what I think about the fitness business. 95% is just entertainment without results. The HIT training, the personal trainers are the fastest way to get what you want.
I love that. I'm quoting you there. Fastest and cheapest way to success is to invest in an expensive expert.
Absolutely.
Never heard it said like that and love that. Yeah.
It's my thinking. I found it out when I built my house. So
Yeah.
it's easy to find someone who is cheap, but you have to
Yeah.
call twice.
Yes. Yeah. You're right. It's the same across everything. So true. I'm just thinking there might be people listening to this who are like, I have a low budget, but I'm really interested. And maybe they just want to buy 5 for their initial location or whatever. What would be your advice for like the 5 machines or that they should purchase?
I love the idea to start small. I'm not a big fan of big clubs. And it's a good idea to start with 3, 4, 5, or with some barbells in the beginning to do workouts on the floor, to do stretching and so on, to have hands-on a personal relationship with a trainer. That's a very good idea. And after a while, when you get success, when you get clients, you can buy more. Of course, it's different when you are in the US and want to get machines from India because of the shipping. It's difficult to ship only single machines. But this is the best way to start slow and to start small. And you ask me for the machines. again, I'm a machine specialist, not trainer, but the leg press is very important from my point of view. A lot of people come with back pain. I would cover that.
Yeah.
I would try to surprise them with something special like the 4-way neck machine. I think you need a chest press, a torso arm. The overhead press is great. The big five, of course. So
That's big
it's
5+1, is it?
plus
That's big
plus
5+2.
yeah, the
7, yeah.
lumbar.
But I agree that, yeah,
They are all fantastic.
yeah.
The machines are all fantastic, and I
It's
love
hard to say,
all.
isn't it? Yeah. You want them all. Yeah.
But the leg press, it's the only machine like that on the market. This special movement, there's no other manufacturer who built a special leg press like that. Same as with the chest press. It's fantastic. The feeling is totally different. The movement, full range of motion, unbelievable.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you can really answer this one, but before we wrap up, I just wanted to ask you, obviously there is a problem right now with the tariffs if people want to purchase from the US. Have you got any thoughts on that? Is that just the tariff is what it is? I don't know if there's been any changes to that. If that's been lowered or
I think so. It's so Mr. Trump will not be forever in this job. And my feeling is he and the Indian people found a solution for that. And my hope or my feeling is it will be less in the future.
okay. Yeah. What is it right now? Do you know? As of today, as of
No.
December? I don't actually sure it's easy for people to find out. Eggert, thank you so much for doing this. It's been so interesting to learn more about your story. You've been so thorough. And I think this is going to give everyone a great overview of your brand of MedX. And if anyone's interested and wants to learn more, please go to medxonline.de. That's deltaecho.de, and there'll be a link below wherever you're watching this probably as well. And I'll just mention again, you can join our free group if you're interested in a free course to help you grow your strength training business, access to experts, access to me. And there's lots of information discussion there around Barwich GmbH and MedX Europe as well. So if you want to learn more, that's a good place too. And you can go to school.com/HIB-free. Eggert, any final parting thoughts, things that you want to share with the audience that are important to you?
I think I already said everything.
Said it all.
If there are special questions, ask me directly. I love to answer that.
Yeah, and thank you. I know it's getting dark where you are. You're an hour ahead of me. And so thank you for making the time. Really appreciate it.
There's one more thing I want to say. I want to thank you for what you are doing. For me, you are in the middle of the whole business. You are the first one, from my point of view, who bring everything together. And I'm very, very happy about it, because what we all do in the HIT business, MedX and the trainers, is very special, and it's the best solution for people who want to get slim and do something for their health. And since you are taking care about that, things goes up, is my feeling. And that I appreciate, Ron's. That's great. So please doing what you are doing.
Thank you, Eggert. That was so kind of you to say. It's very unexpected. Thank you. Really appreciate that. And for everyone listening, thank you so much. I appreciate your time as well. This is Lawrence with High Intensity Business, and we'll speak to you soon.